Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central, hosted by Ofo Steve and Empress Mawushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
A new one for you. How many of you are ready? Help me welcome Chief Prosper. Is somebody ready to praise God? Are you guys ready? Oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. 1, 2. Are you ready? There's somebody behind you. Give me space to dance. I command you. I can hear you. Get it on. Go down the name of. Do what the name of. I command you. Yeah, me talk before. Ma wo Kenya sia. Hey, elo lo lo. Ma wo Kenya sia. Yeah, me talk before. Ma wo. Hello. Say it again, say ma wo Kenya sia. You Santa.
Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central, hosted by Ofo Steve and Empress Mawushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
Mado indeed, Bena, I'm a shaman. Yeah, ma agato wizon na I'm a shaman. Marakumi Akatami Agutia, the legend, Vankodi. He is ready. He is on his way to Dallas 2025. It might be Abaleke for Patrick Green. Have you registered yet? If you haven't, please do so today. Egba Anyagbakla David Nicole Mihoshi. Egba Anya Wanatokia we are going to bring to you. It amado ways on a young konya for Steve. David Nicole, take it away.
Hey, enyenkonye David Nicole Larba Makafui. Mledo wezo na miakota miawezo kakalo miawezo. I am here with Efo Steve. I am so excited to be here today. As you know, I am, like I just said, my name is Larba Makafui Nicole. You guys know me. I am also a host of Ceana. I'm here, one of the hosts on Ceana TV, Africulture. If those of you who do not know, I do host Africulture on Sundays, right here on Ceana TV, as well as my personal channel, Chatting with Nicole, every Sunday, 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. GMT. And I'm just super excited to be here with Efo Steve, to fill in with, my sister, my beautiful sister, Empress Maushi. I am here filling in for her with this special edition that we have going on with our election. So I am super excited to be here. So thank you, Efo Steve, for having me. If you are watching, please, we want interaction. We love to hear from you. So remember to let us know where you are joining from. If you have any questions, you have any concerns, comments, please, because if you don't send us comment, we don't know. We don't know who is online. So make sure you do that. But I'm super, super excited. I'm going to let Steve introduce our guest today. Super excited because we have amazing questions for them. This is the first time we get to do this. We get to have you guys meet our the candidates. And it's very important for us to have this conversation today. So I am very, very excited. And for Steve.
Yo, akpa Marakumi Akata mi kwe ba nya ani loko yo ne nya keje bio jimdo yeta nya ani akogba bio manya makpa agba mi klo yo vuvive na wa ye be bugba anyway I like how me one we create fun and we laugh and we make it fun. We make it very fun. This is a special section, this is a special edition. And this is the first time ever we have Ceana elections just about every 3 years. Gaka, we don't do this. This is the first time. Last week, Maraku Miklo, 3 candidates, Dr. Doris Jamashi, who is vying for the first vice president, and then Miko Francis Adam Kate, who is vying for the financial controller, Baklen Antonio Novinye, Miada, the Empress Maushi, Mama Saduji, who is taking my position. I've been crying since the elections calendar came out. But about dollar, she about the Jalatenia Gaka, Magalida, she says is here for about another 2 months. So we brought in the 3 of them. Gakade, we are going through a process, the election. Yet Egba Judging, Namia Lakagba, Mia Foga, Kobla, Dorku, who is the chairman of the election committee, na wahoji anoide miagbo, so that we can go through the process. Let me ask election process are all go through it. Please share the link and also subscribe to our channel. Subscribe. Okay, everybody, share the link, and while you are there, please, when you share, you like, and also you subscribe. So share the link. The Mianami, just 2 minutes. Then let me share link. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be joined by a full Kobla Dorku. So don't go anywhere. You are watching Ceana Central.
Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central, hosted by Ofo Steve and Empress Mawushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
He can mean you haven't make a pommy po.
Oh, Finemia guy, FPF for me lelo. Rovenya vile jojo. Jajadona, Ceana 2025. Ya for mile le rehearsal so de le jajado. Mile, me ya fide for mile.
Oh, Nyatefia. You must be in my register at Dallas 2025. Because that's the only way my tongue get access to their hotel. I can't really worry. No, you may register this year. Can I never job? He my tongue at the convention or would they refund my money to me?
What for now? Never and Ghana registration. I've another two more down my temple convention. The Canaswa. We are cool even when you were now your convention organizers. Don't I not know my other than what to pay for now. And I've been your fee August 2025 now do about I don't hope we go Katan.
Oh, Nyatepa.
Nyatepa nyakwe mi onu. Bekwe fefe di fefe mi yakwe mi date kwe here August 13, 2025. No nya yoko wa cancel hotel reservations akwa akana.
You know what? You're too early to register for the convention now. Convention is update in August 2025.
Our phone and registration. Ekpanade Ceana Movena would do near as an outie. Uhala Apo Hotel Penny Fede and
Oh, Penade Upe Yavadem. We need to register. Mawe Kaba, Mayan was in the Vomita, a Pato Guipe, Kolobadi. What no register, Namia Fasa, Elevary.
Efo, eho go benkolo, yami, yame when mi yom ya befu meto when mi a register mi a vadala. Azalo.
Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central, hosted by Ofo Steve and Empress Mawushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
Yo, akpa kamera ku miawe gason lo miawe son. Vale kemi dong banamia. Akba, we have a very special guest with us. He is the chair of the election committee. He's a man that needs no introduction per se. He's been in the Ceana circles for so long a time, and his name and face is very synonymous with Ceana. I hope Ceana Krabai. Mianto Miss Philly 2015 by convention. I mean, why you know she mafi me that convention. Yeah, so we are talking about no other person but a full Kobla Dorku, a full Kobla Dorku. Maraku miado ways on a full Kobla Dorku. A full Kobla, Maraku ways on low. I like it. Yo, Danny Kobe a dog now.
A full Kobla ways on Kaka. Ways on. The gars qui m'ont commis d'Ogoa, c'était décembre 2023 Atlanta. 2023 Atlanta. Yep. We can remember that. We can remember we have a jazz night in Atlanta, so we have a quiet conversation there. So where's on Kaka? Me and Tommy, let's say me français, me anglais, me yeah.
Mais come on, be a Papua New Guinea. Don't have it, but I don't me a few as a young call because my okay, Papua New Guinea, all of me a dome, a UK, all of me a dome. Yet, like a Vianney, Abidjan, like a Vianney. Pop with all of you do it. I'm going to give up him. You do it.
Bon arrivé.
Merci bien.
Yo, Nicole, take it away.
Yo, Thank you very much for joining us. Me, today we want to have fun with you. We want to learn a lot with you. We want to know what is going on. So before we go on, can you please introduce, because not everybody know you, those who do not know you, can you please introduce yourself to everybody, please?
Thank you. Ceana media do shwe bonye ba ma ba apuncho nyaba election yanchi. Kafi me igila nkonye nye Kobla Dorku. Kama chiaro mo ma oba maga Dorku ma ro ko Kobla ma ikata ta okwe. Nyenye manya we Philadelphia. So we na be Delaware Valley, the president vai new host Ceana 2015. Tam la koma kia o bi Banya chairman, first chairman of the Ceana election committee, Bureau, if I don't I'm mistaken, 2013 immediately ago. Kobla Dorku chairman, I'm a talk here a ton in sister pair, Michael Piasi. I think we have a youngster, Carl Yanchi, and Anna Loco. That Miaba committee, Yato, never Miao, Aku never so I organize the election. Play a South Global Yaware. Na Ameyo Gona, Yena Secretary Noga, Onyame, Kinyamo Tokero, Aku, and another Gonami. That must have ye, but in any.
Enyo akpe me agbo be fiketo onyo fikoso Ghana be fiketo onyo.
Ayo.
Alo Togo ya, alo Benin ya.
Nyo minya awe toy ekukuyenya kakala no go yo kuma bekala. Yaba akomu chutubanya Abuja to waru Abuja ba to waru ko para tetango go ginoro plonko bazo Abuja ko pa me bachi afuma most of the time. So me ya ko kemi Abuja ko pa ka na me ya Abuja la na ya na me aku la fa unyariga na me mushamu bola yoko na me to na Abuja pa me achime na domolo ka away Abuja ko to mi
Abuja Kobeto minye. Okay. And for any other obey nya my show is Africulture. So ne amova mbiona nko na nko ke onamia mbiona benko agomedema. Ameko mnyo ape Kobla nke benyo glana mon ke
Kobla nya da aro gohan West Africa, Larba in Ivory Coast. Kobla, Kobena, Kobi, Longmukata, Mayo Dia, Blaragba. We are not Kobla.
Okay. So, Kobla, those of you who don't know, it's just Tuesday. Tuesday is Kobla. I always love it because when you hear their names, you don't even have to ask what day were you born. You already know when they were born. So that's that. So, what's on Kaka? What's it back to you?
Yo, Marco, just a footnote. Nicole Nami Nyaba Mama Seduji Melamia Doma. And the reason being, we are doing a special election segment. Yeah, she's a contestant. Yeah, Nyantomi with Shiba. It could create some conflict at there. But yeah, contestants, yeah, enemy other contestants who interview me have no questions in Biamode. Yeah, never will recuse a Dorku for now. Kakama Dojo. Yet every now and then she would make a special appearance until me finish with this segment, this election segment. Happy Watroba, Miracle. Menyaba, yaba fans are all miadoma. Yeah, they are asking Berfika, your favorite host. Makwaba for Patrick and Makwaba for Patrick fans Namu I like Bagba. Manyaba he's also a contestant. Gaka anyway, before me I candidate yeah, Marakumi and Yaji. Upon VHO the background, allow the history of Ceana. Abami Jagoma 2013. 2013, Mary, I'm a gado, we bear our many election me war, no cover election me war 2013, because 2013, it was a special election. That was the first time we had an election in the history of Ceana. The American atwa kuma Vietnami, alo atwa dema Vietnami. How come we had an election 2013 when we had never had any election in the Ceana annals until 2013? And I think take us back to 2013.
That's a tough question, Steve. That's a very tough question. Because 2013 election, presidential election, but in those days, I stand to be corrected. You know, Baba Jemba change secretariat structure. Yeah, at the core level, me have a discussion the secretariat nano association the carbo about Mabaki tutu. That magia cover decide me have a president who is elected. Narum Kujila cover me demi election Mallory Chicago.
Chicago, the windy city.
So you what your president to me elect at that particular conventional. Unya Kamado Dwara Joe Nata Bochikla Mauli Agbanu Doma. Yemi elect just president. Kakala to Fimagia discussion continue. When I elect ask the full membership, full secretariat staff, 1 year elected members. 2015, Narum Kujila, Yemi approved constitution, Yemi discussed about set up all these steps Yemi following back.
Sure.
In short, in a nutshell, that's what I can say. But that election was the stepping stone to what we're doing today.
Okay. But proud to electing Dr. Bochi as the president. We had a system. We had a system in place prior to that. The Maraku Atwadon Kujinami, what kind of a system did we have in place prior to electing Dr. Bochi, which usher us into a new circle of administrative structure?
For the longest,
right.
New York.
Sure.
New York handle for a very long time. Back to New York, we back to Washington.
Right.
Okay.
The whole association, I never secretary about the association of Kashima.
Sure.
From all financial decision making, all those things are Kashima will know. Of course, the Omena Ceana.
Sure.
About cover with the Shiva. Madam Yagi to
sure.
Because those days are never project to war. We had a lot of you know what Maru bad system Matthew. Maru was improvement. So as the never improvement about never Yabon home before you got a number more she at that time or
sure.
Election
sure.
It was a system in the time which was functional,
sure.
but not to the level we expected.
Right.
That's why changes come. You have a system, you're trying to improve on it. So the improvement led to the election. But this is also a step because you know, no call around Ceana.
Sure. Yo, Kobla, we had a system in place. But we were concentrating the secretariat with one association to start with. I feel that there is a need for us. And Ceana has been a very progressive association, a law organization. Yet we continue to improve. That is what life is all about. Where you start from somewhere and then you continue to improve. So that it becomes very dynamic and very progressive. We had a a system where the secretariat was concentrated in one association. The association I choose executive director, assistant executive director, a secretary, PRO, all the officers. Let me be secretariat. Okay, we are talking about the administrative wing of the Ceana. Yeah, so that was what it was. The administrative wing was concentrated in one association at the time. After we went to elective position where volunteers are sorted and then they are elected into the administrative wing of the Ceana organization. Nicole, Marco question adela Ceana for Kobla me.
Oh, Jackie Biobina, how has it evolved? Hey, for Steve, just kind of explain a little bit, because we are talking about before then what was happening, and then how has it evolved over time? Because you have been there since 2013, 14, 13, 14. So how has it? How are you feeling? I know we are not even gotten to the questions yet, but before we get to that, how has it evolved? Over time for you.
Oh, well, I think that the process is perpetual improvement. Here with 2013, that's the electing president. Then 2016, it was the whole administration that were elected.
16, okay.
At 2015, you made a new constitution in place. And let me alone put a constitution here. It's a small document of 26 pages. But truth be told, the electoral process and the pages related to the election are more than half the constitution. So that tells you it was something that was very passionately discussed. People wanted something like that to be in place. We wanted to set up guidelines so that what we're departing from doesn't creep back in, instead of one association having all the position and deciding we have volunteers who are willing. So 2016, election in New Jersey. It was very interesting to have candidates come explain their platform, what they intend to do. Then we went 2019, that happened in North Carolina. Election contested. It was clarity. I think at that point we have also politicians from Ghana that were among us and were able to showcase what is a fair and free election. To do that. Then 2022, we're just coming out of COVID. There was election in Houston, so things are improving. So after Houston, we are transitioning to an electronic voting, whereby so electronic email is sent to the delegate that will vote casted, and instantly we have the election, the result, the percentage is clear. So 2025 in Dallas, all my years election contested abahayano mashama le klalo baya run secretary we're looking forward to it. I think in course of the history, members of the electoral committee original about your run for office, point in case I never he was part of this committee. Vice president resigned from the committee. This year, resigned from the committee, but he ran from office. From office, resign go because resign. The money referee. I think I'm the candidate. I better me on the last canary.
Yeah, every controversial issue I can constitution is not second. It's not second in a way, but there are some few loopholes. There's one of the questions that Amada Dodan Bamabia. So I would ask you that in terms of conflict of interest, is there a conflict of interest clause in the Miaba Constitution? And one of the other questions come up in a letter, can we vote for someone in absentia? And two, the vice presidential position, could there be any for Musenge Bama be in 2015, when you hosted the convention, what was your position? Where you the president, alone the vice president of Ceana? Then at one at the Hama, then at one, now don't come out Bafi Mianu.
Steve over here, one question. I could have about 4 in one question. Madam Larba, I was the vice president. In those days, I elect Dr. Abochila, Mayor Convention hostman, became automatically the vice president.
Right.
So 2015, I was considered the vice president of Ceana.
Okay.
By then, we did not have in 2015, we did not actually have a vice president's position. Okay, it became a default because we're proud to that the president of the host association becomes the president of Ceana. Okay, since we had elected Dr. Bochi as an elected president, then the host became the vice president until later on, then they defaulted to the second vice president.
Later on, you know what, that issue of second vice president defaulted.
Yeah.
No constitutionally, there is the letter, which means what is printed, and then there is a spirit.
Yeah.
Right.
There is a spirit of the law and the letter of the law. There are places where you apply it to the letter, and there are places you have to try to understand, but why was this thing written the way it is written?
Right.
The new constitutional element, this is a constitutional question, not the electoral question, but give me the possibility. Let me give my 2 cents on this.
Okay.
The definition the constitution about the second vice president over the letter state that the president of the host association can be the vice president. So it's a 1-year term, unelected.
Right.
But when you read the function that person turned out to be the chairman of the planning committee, and the term has even used in the constitution. So it's not necessary, but Nanya Boston convention host guy, Boston Toba president, Nanya necessarily the vice president. In the spirit of the law, whoever is chairing the function, the planning, and doing all those things he has more direct information than the president of the organization. So that person can, in the spirit of the law, become the second vice.
Right.
Because the president of president Kokore, it doesn't really tell you. If the president doesn't know what is going on, the chairman of the committee, and I'm coordinating and handling everything. You never hear a second vice president. I have to feed him information for him to go feed out another body. And nobody the question about your money answer more time about your chair. It doesn't really how do you call it apply. For me, it doesn't even create a conflict. Who is the chairman? Who is in charge of the planning? Who understands what's going on? Should be in the spirit of the law become the second vice. But it's only my opinion, and it's a constitutional question.
We are not here. He's not a member of the Constitutional Committee. Ceana does have a Constitutional Review Committee. He's not a member of the Constitutional Review Committee, so he's not here to answer. We are not here to discuss the tenets of the Constitution. The portion of the Constitution that applies to election, Egba is a real opportunity, but we have the chair of the election committee, Hoji Lemiagbo. He's going to be here for the next 30 minutes or so. Every question, any question that you may have, Mariku test it in so that we can get answers for Miaba viewers, or because this is a program would have to go viral after we have finished streaming this. It is extremely important. Your next question is about how do we select the selection of the candidates. Okay, we'll take a quick break. Manyaba man now questions get do a letter clone. We take a quick break, and when we come, we will proceed with the selection of the candidates, and then we will proceed. Maraku, please test in your questions and share the link as well. Yema amada me koko ide Papua New Guinea, the Ivorians are watching, the Papua New Guineans are watching, and a whole lot of the Londonians are watching as well. It's a matter of a friend of mine just tested me, but he's watching all the way from Frankfurt as well. So thank you so much. You Akbenami.
You can talk Frankfurt.
Yeah, Akbe will be right back after this short break.
Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central, hosted by Steve and Empress Mawushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
Hey, David Sabina, it's been a while. How have you been? Have you heard about Ceana 2025 in Dallas? It's going to be the biggest event of the year.
Oh, Pastor Martin, so good to see you. I've heard some buzz about it, but tell me more. What makes it so exciting?
Oh, where do I even begin? It's a 4-day celebration filled with culture, networking, and unforgettable experiences. Plus, they've made registration super easy.
Really? How do I sign up?
It's so simple. Just go to www.dallasaves.org. Again, www.dallasaves.org and pick your package. You can even add a $60 excursion to explore Dallas in style.
That sounds amazing. But what about hotel accommodations?
Oh, no worries. The convention registration is linked to the hotel reservation. When you register, just select if you need a hotel and the dates you will be staying.
Oh, that is so awesome. And I don't need 2 lanes?
Yes, you will get an email from the Sheraton DFW Hotel with your reservation details and a credit card authorization form to finalize it. And the best part, you won't be charged for your room until you check out.
Oh, this is really convenient. Anything else I should know?
Yes, as if the package wasn't already great, they just announced that everyone who registers now gets a complimentary buffet-style American breakfast at the hotel.
Oh, no way. That's such a great deal. I don't want to miss out. I'm registering right away before I forget.
That's the spirit. Let's lock in our spots and make Ceana 2025 unforgettable.
Make me your baby, and I go make you my lady all night long. Body me money, cow. Make me your baby, and I go make you my lady all night long. Body me money.
Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central, hosted by Steve and Empress Mawushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
Welcome everybody back to Ceana TV, Ceana Central. I was going to Ceana TV, the same thing. Welcome back to the show. We appreciate you joining us today. We are having a conversation with Efo Kobla Dorku here, and we are just so excited about what is going on with Ceana, the changes, how it has evolved, and we have heard a lot so far, and we are going to carry on with our conversation. Without further ado, And for Kobla, I know we ask a lot of questions already, but we haven't really got into the questions that we really need to know right now before the election. So welcome back, and thank you again for being with us today. I want to ask you if you can just explain to us the process. We know how we kind of have a gist of how any election process, we understand election process, but we are talking about Ceana. We want you to explain to us, the process of election, the candidates, right? The open nomination, because we do have an open nomination. So can you explain that part for us before we get to the next one, please?
Thank you very much for having me and going through this process. Actually, the Secretariat Ceana Constitution was really well drafted in this particular area. Mm-hmm. The elections of the candidate start is every 3 years. So the term of office for the Secretariat lasts 3 good years. Okay. So what happened is when the third year is about to end for one group and start, we open up the election process. But the electoral committee, way before that, over like 6 months ahead of time, we start preparing ourselves of how to go about it. Okay. So in the Constitution, it is stipulated that 180 days before the election, the next election, which is 6 good months, we send out notice to associations, say, hey, we're ready to take in application for this process to start. Okay. And that process is open for 2 months. Okay. So we're told that 120 days. Okay. We close the acceptance of nomination. And in that process, in that time frame, notice is given to call the associations. They send in your nominees. And when they're sending even those nominees, we have a form designed whereby we request the association whose nominees are coming in to give us some information about the particular candidate. Okay. Or one of the things, for example, in our constitution said, the candidate shall belong to a Ceana membership. So if you are an Ewe and you are living in a town where there is an association that is a member of Ceana and you are not a member of that association, you cannot run for office. You have to belong to an association. Right. And even when you belong to the association, you have to be in a good standing at that very local association for at least 1 year. Yes. So you can't sit on the side all these years and suddenly, you know what, I want to be Ceana president. And you join the association 6 months, then you want to run for office. You do not qualify. So now, after the 120 days, when we collect all the name, the candidate, and have those information, now we have the information. We have to go through the information and release a list of the selected candidate to the association. Say, hey, these are the people running, like we did today. But the Constitution is not clear on exactly when we release that information because there are work to do. Okay. We have to vet the candidate. We go through the candidate, check their background, make sure that we receive that information from their association telling us this guy, we back him up, he's in good standing, he's been in our association as long as possible, and he qualifies. So that's the basic process. Okay. And now we have to set up interviews because we need to have a one-on-one discussion. We are the one putting out the list. Okay. That part, depending on the number of candidates we have, may delay the time we release the list of candidates. Okay. We have 7 electable positions. All is 8. The second vice president is not electable. So we have to go through each candidate, set up a date that is convenient for them and us. Right. An interview that lasts 1 hour. Sometimes it's so much fun, we have to cut it off. Right. So, and most of the time it's a night process. This year, I happen to be in Ghana and have to join in those conversations midnight and 1 a.m. Very inconvenient when you know Ghana traffic. You have to wake up early. But I asked for the job or I'm in the job, so you have to do it. Yeah, so we go through the whole process. Even though we are not mandated to disqualify a candidate, but if we see some red herring, we will reach out to call and say, hey, this man has certain things or this candidate have issues that need to be looked into further. But so far, we have not seen any of that issue.
Okay.
And I'm appealing, here it comes again, constitutional review. I'm appealing to the constitutional review to put in place process that can lead to disqualification of candidates to empower the team. Yes. So that's like basically the process. 180 days we put out notice, 120 days we close out, and then we go through the process and try as much as possible to release the list early enough for the candidates. Once we interview you, you can start campaigning, and then so that information can reach core, they can take it to the association and decide who they want to vote for. Now there is a caveat. If it happens that we have a position that has no nominee, then what do we do? The Constitution does not address that part of the issue. So this is the point whereby the electoral committee has to come up with a way of solving that problem. And I think that issue happened in 2016. So what we do is to keep looking for candidates, putting the information out there so that after the normal election at the convention, we can organize a by-election, because no matter what, if we work hard enough, we'll find candidate or somebody to fill that position. And even when you run unopposed, the Constitution still expects you to have majority of the vote. So I think I have run through the basic requirement and process of how we do the election.
Yes, you did. And you answered the question. One of the questions I was going to come back and say, what if we have nobody? You answered that. We do need to know. And also, what if they're not qualified? And that's the only person. How do you tell them, no, you are not qualified? How do you go that? And you can see that there's a gap. That was one of the questions I was going to ask you. What are the gaps in the Constitution as far as the election is concerned? And you pointed out, you've been pointing out those gaps already. And I pray that they are listening and they are taking notes of what we are pointing, because we do have to know, because if you say something, you have to know what is the fallback. What is the other side? You always have to have both sides. So we don't have both sides. That's when you wouldn't know what to do. So it makes sense. So the vetting of the candidate, so that's how you're doing it. And I like the fact that you guys do the interviews. So you have to do interview. And I hope that is not, your brother, this is somebody that I like. I can just, oh, you got it. And I like the fact that no matter what, you still have to have the vote, the numbers.
Yes.
So you still have to have the numbers. But, I don't know how we feel about if there's only one person and this person is going to be anyway, the fact that you still have to have that number for him to be, to have that position. What if they don't have the number? What if they don't have, they don't vote for him and it's the only that only one person? Anyway, I'm just saying that if you have the question, you can answer, but we have gaps that, we need to know, because I was reading, I didn't see those sides, what if we don't have the what ifs? Exactly. So we need to have some of the what ifs. So thank you for anything you want to add to this, the vetting of the candidate and the gaps that we just discussed, anything you want to add to that?
Well, if you have one candidate and he doesn't have the majority of the vote, that position becomes vacant. He didn't get elected, so we didn't fill the position. So we're out there looking for candidates.
Yeah, Nicole for Kobla. Yeah, for Kobla, it's I don't know. Me and my Jum, that's why we are here. You're the chairman of the elections committee. And we want to encourage interaction. Minister Frida Alomala a question when will the candidates make presentations before the election committee before the election. Any the candidates are they mandated by Wahunu during the election process? Would they be allowed to speak before they are elected?
Miss Freda, I'm gonna question Obiabia. We North Carolina, we gave the candidates 5 minutes to present themselves, and we allow a couple of questions to be answered. And we are hoping the Dallas la Yaga Vivia Ohama.
Sure.
Manya Kodagawala made a push up Mashama body. Miato no kato presentation about vice president ona presentation avoir. Miato Matanda to Murray. I put 2 questions from the attendance rate. What Biao Mashamanako Namunchi Ale way. Ale Akumiado Vivira Gontia, Yakuyago Runo.
Yo, about vice president, look at on vice presidents. Our position,
yeah, that's a good question.
President Oga, I can remember Mashama Nahudi civility nanuma. Question Mashama, we are there to serve the interest of Ceana. Ohan Lane attend of Vivina na Vota. Yeah.
You know, first, Steve, I wanted to add to why this is more important for everybody to watch is because we are saying for Kobla say 5 minutes for people to tell, who they are. So that's why it's important for people to watch this. As we bring them in, we get to know them a little bit more before, the election day. So that it's important that they get to know them now before the time. So that's why I think this is very important for us to bring them in to introduce themselves. We know what qualification they have and all that good stuff. So I think it's important. So if you're watching, please share the link, invite, especially those who are going to be voting. It's important that you watch and you get to know your people. Don't just vote for them because they look nice. They have a nice lipstick or they have a nice suit. You vote for them based off, their qualification. So I think that's it. I like the fact that we are doing this before the election.
Nyatefe enyema Danny Kobla. Look, for Kobla ya na me 5 minutes. Look, I can hear me lafia. We are giving you at least 30 minutes. Look,
yes.
Doris and Dr. Doris Damashi availed herself for a little over 30 minutes because by Nadole she had a prior engagement. So she availed herself for a good over 30 minutes. And Mama Sadiji and for Adam, they were here for a whole hour. So it doesn't get better than that. I share the link. And most of the candidates have already accepted to be here. Next week, Mrs. Penny Akpeni Ametepe, who is also vying for the vice president, she would be here. And then the following week, we have some other program conflict. The week after that, we are bringing two more candidates. Miracle, stay tuned with us. Miracle, Miyaiji, and your questions are good only. Miracle, you spoke about the vetting process near a bit. Yeah, global, the vetting process, it almost becomes a protocol. Gaka any nyareka employee I would like a follow-up in but na amade the criteria in but you have to be a member of a Ceana affiliate organization, a law association. Na madenya a vow, yeah, it's not a member of an association, then the person more or less disqualifies him or herself. Gaka, in terms of the vetting, what tools does the Electoral Commission have to check the eligibility of each candidate? We're talking about dues. Kade domi petitioner the dues register of the associations to verify, but Nyatepe, this person has been a member and have been paying dues for the year in question. What tools do you use to verify the eligibility of the candidates? Is it just on an honest system, although you have special tools that you use?
It's a process that is going on, and then the process will improve over time. We don't have a direct tool per se to access the association, but I may run meet those criteria. But you have a form. You're going to with a candidate assessment form. Madam, maybe a question now. Hope, but the response to home backer is very honest and truthful. Because on those questionnaire, that person in the association, that person participate in the activities that they promote the MAO. So, imagine you can't go here. Baba let me jabum fia ye me question obi amu ko nyamo a masusumo ko ga ko yire miato boy bare o miato leke miaten were ni miako kakaro jibare amme abaye run ye over association abanya ta pay in good standing nyata pay ha kakala ajaba miaru kumari miabuiba nti information home your association as here alla fair alla truthful. Because the man yoba association nano like Madam Nami, one yaba mama, like a hagman Kakoba, the good standing over Rudi Arando Secretariat. Go to a Agbana Odoga, Agbana Jajega. That for the time being, we have faith in what the association are giving us, and we're going with that.
We are using an honest system. Although you have some tools that the most reliant on an honest system. Kobla Dorku, the chairman of the election committee. Election process because I may also chagami for the next 3 years. It me have jidepo added woman. Afi mia adakono. Ye kafifiade amara biaba leke a moka gie mituna adakona ha. Ye miaba next question kemia nefo koblana adaman amika kede. Marako a mopopo liba ohana do question. Miaba question oma bia milelo. Kakami jimba mia senyare chomi agbo ne mo ha question adela show alo ebe ya dakpena fo kobla marako na kwi kokodo dadi na mia apolu chomu alo ne mia bie eta mia gadi de ma bie kwa ne mia ho ni nya chocho de kala alo vado di na mia trova eta marako mi ka afia de kolo. We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central, hosted by Ofo Steve and Empress Maushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
Are you ready to start a rewarding career in healthcare? Become a certified home health aide in the state of New Jersey with our 2-week training program. Enroll today to begin your journey. It is simple. Email us at pccshhtrainingschool@gmail.com or newmanpccsinfo@gmail.com to reserve your spot in our New Jersey Board of Nursing approved training course. Receive expert training. Our hands-on comprehensive home health aid program offers more than just knowledge. It provides real-world experience. Learn directly from seasoned professionals who will guide you every step of the way. Transform your future with skills that truly makes a difference. Begin your career with expert guidance and hands-on practice. You will be certified and ready to launch a successful career as a home health aide. Don't wait. Start your healthcare journey with us today. Contact us to enroll. Call us at 862-755-8464 or 848-218-1555 or 773-960-5416 or send an email to pccshhtrainingschool@gmail.com or newmanpccsinfo@gmail.com. What are you waiting for? Grab this opportunity to transform your future with skills that truly makes a difference.
David, as-tu entendu parler de Ceana 2025 à Dallas? Ce sera le plus grand événement de l'année.
J'en ai entendu parler, mais dis-moi davantage, Richard. Qu'est-ce qui le rend si extraordinaire?
Oh, par où commencer? C'est une célébration de 4 jours remplis de culture, de réseautage et d'expériences inoubliables. Et en plus, ils ont rendu l'inscription super facile.
Vraiment? Comment puis-je m'inscrire?
C'est simple. Il suffit d'aller sur www.dallasairways.org et de choisir ton forfait. Tu peux même ajouter une excursion à $60 pour explorer la belle ville de Dallas en style.
Ça a l'air génial. Mais qu'en est-il de l'hébergement à l'hôtel?
Pas de souci. L'inscription à la convention est liée à la réservation d'hôtel. Lorsque tu t'inscris, il te suffit de sélectionner si tu as besoin d'un hôtel et les dates de ton séjour.
Oh, très intéressant. Et je n'ai même pas besoin de 2 livres.
Pas du tout. Tu recevras un email du Sheraton DFW avec les détails de ta réservation et un formulaire d'autorisation de ta carte de crédit pour la finaliser. Et le meilleur, tu ne seras facturé pour ta chambre qu'au moment de ton départ.
C'est vraiment pratique. Y a-t-il autre chose que je devrais savoir?
Eh oui, comme si le forfait n'était pas déjà incroyable, ils viennent d'annoncer que tous ceux qui s'inscrivent maintenant bénéficieront d'un petit déjeuner américain, buffet et gratuit à l'hôtel.
Je n'en crois pas mes oreilles. C'est vraiment une offre spéciale. Je serai de la partie et je m'inscris.
Et voilà, réservons-nous maintenant, réservons nos places tout de suite et rendez-vous à Ceana 2025. Ce sera inoubliable.
Yo, madakuku medogo na Ceana menola kaka anyamianovi agoti ya omaona yele mopomna anyakure nufofu. Abemado pejina nibe Luciano Sogbe moho bisavo tam mele emoji bonalo nyajogo le Dallas lo maone irami.
Land of America, Abena Bobo Yewonya, Land of America, Untifafa Bobo Yenye Ceana, now this is Lela Bobo Yenye.
Ago na mi Ceana duao kwenya ma Ceana zaga du ma kwaya du gamile la Dallas 2025 ya gogovo ya association challenge have fiem guda plero aba de ploviena akwai vai ma hababo de sia de jababa bli pepe gaka yodo gidime kaga chowia dova flade Greater Boston play Washington DC Metro Inca o domi drinya afetwa de dankwane ba showdown time akayo nyena mega kla mega dogole hoboblim hafio daje sia mega hohota feto Vincent kosi kla afeno akpene amatepi pakpelo fo hamavi yonya hababo yo le Washington DC Metro Inca o jagbagba difia afeto Patrick Sosu amaga Jonathan Safo kla Greater Boston hamavi okata ba zauza togbo ponele na vava yata Washington DC Metro Inca we hogban le foi vayam aka tami kam Greater Boston tola bo yo le ban hogala foi amade am vaga lo kadro ku kameola da Ivy Kwashi kla afo Francis Sagbafia UVA ade wongba gbade drega family foi am miato yo le Chicago ade da karo amako kla mama Saduji ka ganya Empress Mausi foi vayima ne dong baba yo ma khotoli ogake foi amade la ka ononoge ha afo Winfred Badama da Esi adoboe bela evhabo yo le Dallas ya nyenye nwie be me patata no ge me le foya me aga ke me dongbe to here ne mi da leke no ge ole de mi atiwa dan kunu kla Jesse ada ko fiamia novice vhabo yo le New Jersey da Matilda bela amaga sashi me dovlo mi tan gbona Dallas du kwa fufu ge haya Ewaga, Ewe Association of Georgia, Aika Klolanya Efo Ben, Untuche, Akla Efo Godfred Amposa, Amiabanana Dega Fiamia. For David Abusa Dr. James Do, Nkadege Houston, le family Dallas, Novinho Habayola Delaware Valley, for Kobla Dorku, Amaga Dodoja, Bella for Patrick Ajadu. Demia Banakba Maboma Bode Kuganemi like Dallas. Global Part, Dr. Victor Do, Bella Amaga Didier Klu. Mijagbagbanem yang ngombe pa ubole donozo abokwi hena kamete tiala Dallas he. For Michael Fiati, Dr. Forgive Avogbado, a club Haboboyle North Carolina, Alekeha, Nuka Jogala Dallas La Fayama, a Haboboyle Charlotte, North Carolina, a photo a day soa, Bella Apono Edith Tra, a Javier de Fito Finamba Milagabade Sere Jumbo, your Bubu Dr. Chachunya Madi, Plamia Pongo Joa like Baboa, Dasa Chanchi Henama Bubu he. I'm a vaga, a Bahaboyola Columbus, a photoni yoma sokla amaga justice Audi, and Lakan no game ya nyawla la Dallas la Payama, a novice Bahaboyola New England, a for Doji, Damerikaja, and Katutu to Damemiela New England at Bonnet Dallas Namiha, a Canadian Cultural Organization of Ontario. Matutumia to enemy Yevugamahe. Are you planning to beat our Association of Charlotte, North Carolina this year? Myeganglebeba Magamagamagaola Jamohe. And Nukuru to Hede Wanyana Afo Kofi Bekuli VP1. Yewa Jababano Tabubunaji Koko. For Eric Z. Kla Amagatoni Dobe. Nyafan Kuole Miajila. Ababoyola Cincinnati. Dayton, JK, Alo, McBuxton, Dr. Bernard Kadagwe, a fair mea. Zero, I come up with Bugala Yamabu Japao, Mijababanamia for Sirimia Kotoko Maclay, a Miato, and your local joke, I my dead Siba Dr. Gatakwilla Wiamako Wiaman on your Gapwam, better, a wadu Wiabo, Penalere, a Pahaboyola, Southern California, Dark Christine Chicata, a Foka Free Mensa. Bla afoto sama nu mauba amienya nu yimia tewa wo he nyele mia susunto nyele mokpom na mi le Dallas le payama afoto Joshua amawo amie wezo dono abanu la alokro ye kele habo yo le Colorado anwana ayi afo Cornelius akume akla afo Francis agbaka wo le magbano kwa vovoma lio he Dr. Wonyo da Harriet akla United Airway of Arizona amie mokpom ba me banglo me pan koda gbagbala le payama Amaga ega ante amiela wo club habo yo le Quebec susuma la gbagba miato miata gbagba hafu asi akojo gale fa iva ma tutungo gbe idoro ngol Ghana Togo club Benin tome akafa ya mea mi la gbagba de sere jambe mia sire dollar akpalo fa vebla to ikinye $250,000 dile Dallas le faya kuma hanango gbedoji le vanyiba oji Ceana michola micho maba micho vadwo kwengo ba yia amade kama wagana mi ohe mion to kwa we hafi wanyo hominya.
Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central, hosted by Ofo Steve and Empress Mawushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
Yo, Marco Miagado is on Nami by Ceana Central G. Yema Marco Madon Kujinamba for Kobla Miadoma and Doctua Gakama Chichiga for Chogalamia, but an Epiagara Shaba Biakala Shoka Marco Napia Kokododa. Makoba the I'm a far along a level question. I will be a like a dominia over a decupine, I like a babayo over LOL. Yeah, my papa for Michael a fiati in her funds now have a good job, chair. When you over a committee member, a committee to me, you all you, but I have a fans now over a good job, low, but Marco, after me, I take break. I me be up a ponu, me ponu so far. Show the background of Ceana elections. How come? Yeah, big baker, a paymaker, me jagoma. Vado need the selection of the committee, the selection of the candidates are over processor, bakula over vetting processor. Can me work a katam for the kayi me akodaga now when are we voting for them? Yeah, magakwe akokokwi. But you like to answer multiple questions at a time. I'm not talking about but the election process are they I'm a shama kuyatwancho avada kwalo I'm a tokiadoli you would an akohiaka you've won or your yomba is it a universal suffrage allow delegates delegates a voting process?
Yo, baru itong universal suffrage au manya na namen ba job if you have association aro habla vel tienam da hamokata will have two delegates to as a core member. The core members are will have one vote. That would not like I vote again. Vote you what you overhag or alley overhad decide number may you vote again now. So it's delegate voting, but only one of the two delegates that is allowed to cast a vote for the entire process. Electronic vote to Nyembiwana, that near Jana over working email. Hopefully, Hanemila Hotel, I'll have Wi-Fi access to be able to vote. Yaini vote ga near one Friday morning, and you on a call meeting. I think call meeting I will be now a general, which will be a call members or meeting in other thing. Wow. Akela, ever improving. I think I have a baba, and I will discuss the Magia, but I'm never place up in other things. Maybe budget around the time of our vote or no allow this process every 3 years. Alaka Obanya. Tanya do this time Friday, August 29, in your voting data. Karajiba ni mwobo bokaba the new bokaba kwa adako kwa na komembe so onako chance ayira ekoboni a charity a journal after on Friday sir no one thing chako chance that August 29 in the morning after call meeting in be on the election and it's delegate voting.
Yo, delegates are when miaba akamechio here miyonaba core members wawenye the board of directors of the of Ceana. It a wawokwe. It a kemia milkomia a board of directors alo minya core members or kemia anupopo kumia bagbema na mia avano amochiam abnenyama. Aloba, we have a way of influencing a global vote yaka hocho over association na waba cast vote ma. You are indirectly encouraging, but we members of the associations we need to empower miapa a delegate who is our core member with our vote. It a maye miatwa influence vote ale. It a miatek bedejiba each core member they know a core na mianko some association, one of these 20 associations they. It is your right, Bernard, demand by over a core member. They know a call list mavi. Na any ko nyacho any candidates or one no about kongunami. Na mia na mianto mia da corregiba a position ya a me a miji jimba na wa adashide jima miga nana wa the deco no have not the father what them blechon no wa voto. Gaka doli tinko inyapa. Voting over electronic voting, Malaysia, but it is secret voting. Yet we wouldn't know who voted for what. except for the numbers are kopogamiala kakona minyaba I make the kakui ranima kakamai amamaya. They are just looking for numbers. I have a question about that. Kaka yenyaba na amada kaha gale running that person still need your food. So Maraku Nyai. Makbaba Mama Saduji, Alakaji, Agba, she's relaxing and she's drinking her matai on some beach. But yeah, me that whenever I'm watching la. Yo, akpe na mama. Yo, Marco Nicole, from the explanation, if you have any question for, and if you have any feedback or
I do have few follow-up question for Kobla. So I always wonder, why is the vote, why is it limited? Why does it have to be just 2 people and one of that person can cast a vote? I mean, we want as many vote as we can, and I know it's different. Why is it just those 2 people? Why is it not open to the core members, everybody? As long as you are in good standing, like you said, you can also vote, because again, they are going to be doing, we are all one, where whatever work they're doing is going to affect us. Why are we not involved in that? That's just a question. It's not a pushback, it's just a question. And that's one. And then why is it 3 years? Do we know why is, every 3 years? I wanted to know that. Do you mind?
Let me take a gander at that. The 3 years this is the term of the secretariat. Every 3 years, we want a new government or a new body to replace the people. It's a non-profit organization. Nobody gets paid. And it takes a toll on your family, on yourself.
Right.
One of the unofficial requests, for example, I have personally for the candidate is, did you discuss this with your significant other?
Right.
As a core member already, we spend once a month long hours on the phone. Every month. So it's good, but it's limited in time, so we're not stuck. For example, the old secretariat, they used to be there for a long time on the same association. It happened that they rotate the position within that association, but I think it was too taxing. So the 3 years process is for a new government, new blood, new people to come in. And hopefully we can do a good job at inputting or importing the youth in this process. Now, why don't we open to everybody? If we open to everybody, it's the universal suffrage. It's going to be limited to maybe the people who are at the convention, or you'll be the association registered members.
Right.
Then we might end up falling back to the old association. We have an association of Arizona. I don't think they have more than 20 or 30 members.
Okay.
As opposed to Washington or New York, which can easily bring it 300, 400 membership.
Right.
It's going to be lopsided. But when association have only a limited vote, every vote have the same weight.
That's why, okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we went for one vote per association.
So that's your reason. Okay, so that's your reason. I get it. And I do understand. I was asked this question about the 3 years. And I kind of, I can think, but I'm like, I'm going to ask it on air for you to tell us what is the reason. So thank you for explaining that. And thank you for explaining the fact that, well, we can come back next time we have you here, or I have you on my show. I'm going to deeper into this question. I'm gonna because in the United States, for example, not every state has, every state have different, you know what I mean? So Washington, D.C., California, we don't have the same number of, population, but everybody still votes. So that's one thing we cannot take offline and carry on. Otherwise, we're going to be going back and forth on this one. So thank you very much for answering that.
Let me give a little bit, if you allow me.
Yes, please.
At the Congress level or the Senate level, a tiny state like Connecticut have the same almost vote at the Congress level like California. When it comes to delegate counting, that's where the numbers are lopsided.
That's true. Yeah.
So we're trying. We're just a non-political small organization. We want to have everybody feel like we have rubbing big shoulders with the big association.
With a big association, I see. Okay. All right.
Let me have one question from the gallery. Marco Afo Kofi Hamanu Yenya Afo Muzenge. Marco, a question Yabiada Lashi. Marco Yabiaba, how secret is the electronic voting? Who receives the vote?
Nobody. The electronic vote, we've used it several times in not only how do you call it? Other organizations like Georgia uses a lot, not only at the Georgia level, but at the Koga level. And now that we are 20 members, it's not going to be a free software that we're using. We have to pay. But there's always a potential that if you pay, if you want to see the numbers who voted where, there is always a way to request that in case of challenges and those kind of things. But it's a secure vote used in many. It was developed by a university actually, so it's a very secure vote. I don't think, but our brother Muzenge has the hacking capability to really
to hack it.
Okay.
I mean, you have to trust the process at some point. Our election in countries, you go to ATM and take a $2, you get a receipt. But for your vote, you don't get a receipt because we put some trust, some faith in the system. At some point, you have to.
So we are not going to have an election scheme.
Yeah, if I understood you correctly, every vote is populated in terms of who was voted for. But as to who, let's say the presidency, right? The presidency, we have Mr. William Kuma and Dr. Ababio, right? And so when the results are coming in, you can only see or you can only tally how many votes went to for Willie and how many votes went to Dr. Ababio per se. As to if it were, let's say, 11 votes to Willie per se, you would not be able to tell those 11 associations that voted for Willie per se, but you can only see the numbers.
Yes.
Okay. And it is only the Electoral Commission that can see those numbers. But last time you display it on the screen for us, although you use a laptop to display the numbers for us. You even show the infractions, but I may have 10%, I may have 27%. So that is so it is, although it's a secret voting, it becomes open election in terms of declaration of the results.
It is secret. The Electoral Commission, we don't even have access to who voted for who.
Okay.
So the numbers tally, because we send a link at the same time to everybody. So if we have 3 people voting at the same time, we just see the numbers. One vote came in. We don't know who voted at that particular time.
Okay. In the case where you send it to just one person per association to avoid where there will be duplication of vote per an association.
It makes sense. Okay.
Okay. Nicole, take it away.
I know, I am excited to know. I want to know what do you feel? How you feel? I know, there's so much you can say or cannot say, but how are you feeling about the candidate this time around? What is your thought about the candidates?
I think we have a good caliber of candidates. And my personal, this is my personal, not the committee, not Ceana, but I'm as a core member. My personal thing is we should be able to allow the youngsters to run for office or to be there, because we are the oldest, the dying generation. If we do not create a space for our youth to come in, to run for office, to give them a chance to make a mistake and learn from it and be here for the next 10, 20 years, this organization will die. And I would hate to see that.
Yes.
So we should foster that movement. Even I don't know who's going to be the president or the secretariat. If they are elected, I wish that on their platform, they mandate that every position gets shadowed by a youngster.
That's awesome.
That would be so great. That would be so great. We are raised mostly from back home and came here. We have way of doing things. We have behavioral issues that are different from our children that we think we raise. But there is nurture and nature. We nurture them the way we were, but they live in an environment that is different from the environment in which we were raised.
Right.
So they have concepts that are hard for us to accept. We try over how many years now to create a youth committee. We're still failing.
Yeah.
We need to sit down and say, why are we failing? We need to dig into that and create a space for that to really take off to be the guardian of this great association.
Right.
Before I close, let me just say this. I was at one of the conventions, which the church service of either New Jersey or New York. I think it's mostly New York. And they have this church group that came from Ghana. And they were so excited with our Ceana movement. And the guy said, Amagadoku, I'm you know, Manya for Pongo, for Solentio. Yaw Lamia de Ghana, Niba Jim Bob, Niba, Nanya, Doduraka, Negosunu, Yosota, Yowoto, Akamanya on the yo. You're Virginia, think you are. So we have to make sure that this organization provides.
It has to stay.
Yes.
Yeah. And the only way to stay, I agree with you. That's why I'm so excited when, the last conversation that we had, they were all into bringing in the youth. They all talked about the youth. We have to do that. We definitely have to do that. And I'm big in believing that they are our future. We cannot let this die. We cannot let it die. So I definitely agree with you. I have to ask, and I have to ask last time, I cannot make you sing because I have not heard you sing. So I'm not going to make you sing because we sang the anthem last time with for Adam here. So I'm not going to make you sing. But I do want to know, what is your favorite activity when you go back home? That's one. I know that has nothing to do with election. And what is your favorite food? And the last but not least is, what is working right now in the election process, and what are the challenges that we have? If you can just, high level.
High level. The challenges from the electoral commission is like the powerlessness at some level, because it's not been addressed in the constitution. I would wish that we even establish an age limit who can run for president, because that's one of the things that voting is by itself a limiting factor. But if you are experienced, you're very good, sometimes you should be in the background advising the youth to promote them. That's one of the things.
Okay.
The gap that need to be filled in the constitution to reduce unnecessary argument about what we can do. For example, people want to have CORE run a motion just to override the constitution. This is a very dangerous slope. Once you start, casting aside the rules that were thought of over many months of argument and discussion just on the whim, then you're going to set precedents, and it's going to be precedent as the precedent whereby those rules become useless. Because if we can just toss them aside because of a knee-jerk reaction, no. Everything that to be thought of for the long term, not for the immediate satisfaction or gratification.
Okay.
Those are the things that I wish are really taken care of between the constitution and the other committees. This committee, for example, is a very, very autonomous committee. When you look at what we do, we should not be influenced by the secretariat, or if a constitution is in place, that's the constitution we follow. It's not what we wish we follow. Okay. So that's got to be clear, and we need to be sometimes strong-headed to go on it.
Okay.
Now, when I go to Ghana, I love it. I love my breakfast to really switch to the natural food. I can't go there. The people want to eat the white man food. Wheat, wheat jobo. I'm like, what is that? Wheat doesn't grow. It grows on Africa, but that's not our diet. We have a Wusa cocoa, which is right there. We have kokuri jobo, it's maize. So I like to just delve in my natural food. The activity, sunbathing, going to our amazing beach we have in Volta region, Keta. Our beach is so amazing, and nobody actually enjoys it, which I don't understand. But that's a different story.
Maybe now people will go. Now you are, you're encouraging them to go. Maybe now people will start enjoying. Maybe before Steve may have. Before Steve is like before Steve may already have.
For Kobla, Marco, me dash you on and I make over any final comments. Maracuma Bia. We try speaking on the heels of some of the gaps in the constitution. Maracuma Bia question, you already talked about if there are no nomination, the process that the Electoral Commission puts in place to get a nominee for that position. Yeah, Gaka Marakuma Bialo, you touch on this vice president and the second vice president and the president of an association, but question a VA to some extent. Kamaraku but there is no constitutional provision that creates a conflict of interest in any way because the constitution is very explicit on Fifia who becomes the second vice president. It's a default position. It does make room, but if you are a president and you opt for an elected position, it does not necessarily create a conflict. There is not even any language in the constitution that I have come across which states about forbidding one from holding two positions. It's just a norm. It's just a practice that we've all employed in the past. Like constitutionally, there is nothing explicit in it. In terms of the language of conflict of interest, there isn't any that you can point to that I can point to per se. Gaka, in terms of common sense application, we keep saying a few things. My main question here, but if when you've talked about if there are no nominations, there is other process there. Okay, what about if a candidate is it mandatory, but every candidate have to be present at the convention to be voted for? If the candidate had already gone through all the processes that you have enumerate, everybody, the last process is the casting of the vote. The candidate has no vote. The candidates have to be present at the time that the votes are being casted?
All right. I always like to start with the easy question. No, the candidate, there's nothing who require the candidate to be there. But if you did your homework and you convince people to vote for you, and then you have an emergency or you are out of the country or you are not at the convention, which is really, which can happen. We have reason. No, the vote are casted, you are elected. Because we love at the Saturday night banquet to introduce the new, the incoming administration. But if you are not there and they voted for you, we will see you at some point in time. So we cannot say, but because you are not there, you don't get voted for in or out. That's not going. Now, you also talk about the issue of or the controversy about somebody be elected and can be a second vice president. We talk about briefly. But let me ask you, right now ongoing, I don't know why that's a big deal. Because we have the second vice of Dallas, who is also a core member. The Constitution clearly states that when you become elected or you're a secretariat member, you give up your core membership. But because it's not an elected position, he kept both. And I didn't hear any noise about that. Why is this one suddenly becoming a problem? So that's my take. It's not only my personal take. It's when you read the Constitution, there's no conflict there. I don't know why people are going around are they scared of a candidate? I am not going to start a polemic, okay?
Yeah. Kobla, your closing remarks, please.
thank you guys so very much for doing what we are doing for Ceana. I think we are on a verge for the next level up. Right now, individual members of all associations can hear directly from people who are making decisions. And it's a very good job that we have Ceana Media. We need to share this link almost on a weekly basis to all members. As soon as you see on the call, please forward it to your platform, local platform. People will catch it. And we don't only have this particular program, there are so many other programs. And we should promote ourselves. If we don't, nobody is here. No view, we wait, no,
Yo, akpe manyak blood na afo Kobla Dorku, the chairman of the Ceana Elections Committee. Yeah, ba egba eba hoshi de miagbo ye woko enyagedeum. Ita ne bia de gale mi ashide marku mi circulate mi post near by election elected the nominated list they have approved. Yeta de Maraku mi yama on the questions are all me ashide me atwa biao directly. Yeah, na mi ga here another gali. Yeah, and me tempia mi jibe ya bia electoral commissioner de. Maraku over number lafma Maraku mi ayo ne mi abia ma dakpe manya glode na mi abi okata no kajiple mi for Patrick. For Patrick Ajadu their questions get over ye for Muzenge Akpe Manyagwana any minister Alomele Oha Evabiato for Michael Fiati Minyaba Enye election committee member Ganye a core member Gaka Hababia Afimianto Miada Empress Maushi Kujawo at all Tuji. Mrs. Tuji ton tema oha abayele ekaji mi akpom mi dakpena ameshame akuve oha akpe gare now for Michael na mi nyaba kuhide kaha nyaba we are not circulating the information to our members so koto for Michael but you are not disseminating the information to your members. It time bagbane mi yo marako afi mi atroba na Nicole na I wind up mi aba assure egba mi adak pe na mi nyaba amagede like I just play me from Ivory Coast to Guinea and look New
Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, Papua New Guinea. Try you there, UK, why you there, Germany. Another friend tested me from Ireland, where I like Kaji, Ghana, to how be you like Kaji, play me, Nya Dakbe, at Nya Dakbe, Manya Bonami. Camera, come take any program footnotes via the Kodi, na Nia a wrap up, Nya assure yo. Yenya ban. Yeah, Ceana Media, they me a dog warm. Yeah, manya Saturday, they do me goma from Friday. Friday, I mean one African jazz and traditional music panorama. Yenya mia foga DJ Lawrence Mawenyega. You can have banana me Friday, Friday outro alumnia Friday FM from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Friday chef Friday. Can I get a Saturday gia miada Miss Dell backplay that Sarah on call Health and Wellness Hub akoko banami indi kanye kakai how be you acho let's yaji kwa kanye backplay the Empress Maushi Allo Mama Sediji Fifia and Mrs. Tuji Ihamia Ahoshi Nemia Jerosiana Nyama Kakamia Mia Choko Kemia Adazon Aida Ghana ni MFA authentic mama iha called Dunenyo Bobobo Akokobanami Fifila Neme Kakamia Choko ka show ma jibaga Kaka have a choko ka and miva mia strong yenye Danami da Mary Alonia Yeba Mama Vero Dr. Wanyo for Cyrus Bakla and your name I call me fa mia strong Kana enuke koshiragba mianto miada mianovi da Nicole ako agriculture. Eta echo ejibaga life. Eta meshame. You stay tuned for that. Akpenami. Ka announcements we don't have yenye mianto minya minu kumcho miapa conventional ejibaga no matter what. yeta anyaka le twama kuinya ba mi se any the legend agboti ya yento ba ya visa ye la moji bonaita ya dogomi le Dallas marako mi akata mi register na nya sponsor mi sponsors o chin na natwaba an hour mi natwaba sponsor mi marako any July 5th mi anovio kenye I got Team and Development Association of North America. On top of you will need a special show that will get in Kente, Yantamina, Kente, I do Yantonto, Kete, I do Yantonto, I got Team, better Afmao, and I can tell later, Kete Male, later America, you Kete show warm. Washington, Maryland, Yantomia. Marco, and that the same July 5th weekend, Novio United Voter Association, Novici Association of New Jersey, every Alliance of New Jersey, Novino Habobo of Delaware Valley, a Kobla Dorku Association, Okatawa Shikpem, no over, O Yomba Miava, Nemiava, Claire for 3 day chief, Claire in the shadow, a family picnic, Maracumia Jaba, Nemia, July 5th, Yema, Asama, Ag, Vage, Yo, Kamia. Marco Mian of York, New York, Payama, Ghana Fest, Ajivaga on August the 2nd, Yenya, ni Jijoni Areko, one ala Park, New York, la 17, Corotona Park, yo, Marco La Bronzama, Marco Niba. Next week, Miada, Mrs. Penny Akpene, she's vying for the vice president position, I love VP1's position, next week. So please make a date with us against next week. After her, there'll be many other candidates that will be coming. We keep announcing the candidates lineup as we go. Your American candidates are where know your candidates is very essential. This is the only time you get to know them and you can ask them questions. So have over numbers, blend the shadow. So get to know your candidates as well. Marco, there is few other announcements that are in a video format. After that, Nicole and myself would wrap up the show.
Kata Dr. Chachu Nyamadi Pekpokplote Anam Abala yo Jagbagba Dasi Kotoku Medega Hejoga Kaka Hetua Banku Bubu Modando Pe yo Dankwana la Gudaiva Pekbamba ICT Larba Nekbali Medukwa ile Togo Nyibaji Beduko Pevi yo la Plek Besiaba Akpe Nami Lobo Pat Kloto Gatomon Pokwa Ejile Befa Dento Jinyaba Manane Hamevi de Sade na Sibe yo Pokwa Siapa Takbeba Gaji Nogele Pe Amalchogle Chan Drapen Kaka Tuavano Bublunka Kaka sinegle chan drapen ka diagbe Karle chan drapen ka dragbe hafi vavala wa jo iopo nopolen tifafauma wonava vi ya opo zimeno lawe anya pat kloto pekplo la gan afono Rose Abra Aisa ayipekperento anya pastor Koku Mojinu amekpe to hewe anya Ceana president Dr. Chachu Nyamadi Charlotte habo bwa akamachio wole hamavio baduko kata togo vijiji de sia de panda po amafa takpekbang he mia to wao mi va ne mia we wanyo akpa na mi
ago agochi makati ago domnami
mionelo mionelo
Amayo kata katevo do jizona Agochime Development Association le North America miakpem de katefa nu vanyenye de fiaza gan redufe le Holiday Inn College Park Maryland USA le mamira pajinu adra alo July penkeke atongbe azanya wana imena tenwa so so katefa zozom ngunya unche le chito ndiga o me azagome zege wana yo to menoge adome torewenye katevo fo me vivo vo so fiedu katelon lo pada ngure de fia katelon lo pa zozom ngunya ogogro fiedu ketelon la ga Thompson ya wa vonyo se so gochime agara gbachime ahara ketelon lo pada nwa fia la zame amashama na kpo va na va kpo nu asron nu ahaple ketefo doduara shibobwe aso ya peme ahano nya tomrenwu don kwajiba mamlira pagino adra alo July pen ka tongbe azan jinoge le Holiday Inn College Park, Maryland, USA. Sofie Galdrama, wolo du tofonu do plana azame no lao, so magia muzakara wana vuvu to manoga kakada shina formuli garakama. Amachichi opa pomaro ganye $100. Kada vi o mapopo pa wo harewa, oto anye $50. Fokana me yo nkoyoga malafia do motoraka bana hotiki ta dongo. Apato William Ajimahe plus 141 041 97310. Apato Wisdom Kenge plus 198 022 666 97. Nene Gagli plus 124 044 496 24. Lo alo apano Eugenia Asigbe plus 131 955 124 16. Tekpo na pletikita kaba bama ga volagbo. Amo kwito izi na tuwaji mlopa dalina wala tepaenye www.reservationcounter.com. Lo aluna fokato zeshiaji plus 124 054 212 26. Wama shama kpem.
Calling all food lovers and culture seekers, the Kawawa Maryland proudly presents a taste of tradition, the ultimate Akpele or Banku Picnic Day and fundraising event. Join us on Saturday, June 21st, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the fields at Renaissance Park, 99 Steamers Run Road, SS, Maryland. For just $10 or more donation, enjoy authentic home-cooked meals that will take your taste buds straight back to the motherland. Jenklen, Amoklen, Ayiklen, Banku, pepper sauce, tilapia, and more, all served with love, laughter, and community spirit. Don't miss it. Let's eat, laugh, and build together the Kawawa way. For more info, contact Sharita at 443-243-8933 or any of our friendly organizers listed on the flyer. This picnic is sponsored by Brightview Rentals. Deco we go wow you. Service we go carry your event go top level. Hey, from the chairs to the shine deco so fine. Who they set up? Brightview Rentals all the time. From either DC, MD, VA, DE, then go deliver grocery. Call Magdalene at 443-491-6893. She dey on time, no decline. Follow at Brightview_Rentals_ for real design. See you there.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yo, so my name is Screwface, aka Balagaza, aka your father is a rich fan, and guess what? This year I am representing live inside New York. Yes, it's the Ghana Fest. I'm repping live inside New York. The venue is at the Crotona Park. Yes, Crotona Park, Bronx. I'm coming live in Cali. Come, let's enjoy some good music. Let's enjoy some good hip life Afrobeat music. Yeah. Come, let me take you back, okay? Let's do that. Baby, I will be a sedankora. Boy, hey, Sawodomia. Hey, Bala Gaza. Yes, the date is 2nd August, Crotona Park. Don't miss out. You don't want.
Make me your baby, and I go make you my lady all night long. Body me money, make me your baby, and I go make you my lady all night long. Body me money.
Welcome to Ceana TV. You are watching from Ceana Central. Hosted by Ofo Steve and Empress Maushi. Ceana, helping build Everland.
Yo, akpe na ameshia malom ya gada akpe na afo Kobla. Marako fo Kobla marako na enyere la shiobre la koko glede any miaba nupala wakla nyasala bo afi mia adashi afi mia ko egbaton ha koko serafia.
Oh, mi ato kuma biava na mi sign up na Ceana la tala kwa mijawa azaya kunye nyabaza e bibi nanto ta adere mi agbo na la leta la ko
You. Akpe Marco for Kobla Dorku when come on me, say me a dakpe garden, I mean, me a dakpe name, me a dakpe na amesha make for me. And but Marco make a date with us next week. I make a trogava, let me applaud da akpeni and Mrs. Penny akpeni ametepe vene hamia did a hot sitaji, they hana vas me have questions on no one domunami. No one nami anya. Why care or Hiaba Miadakone as the first vice president of Ceana? Nyankonya for Steve, Miracle McClamido, Maglamida, Dan Nicole Washima. Nicole, please take it away. It's been a pleasure.
I pay for Steve. Et for Kobla, merci beaucoup. Passez un bon weekend. Rendez-vous, Ceana 2025 in Dallas. Rendez-vous. All right. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We thank you for another, amazing show. We get things now, things that you didn't know before. So we thank you for that. We thank you for joining. I really am grateful for being able to fill in for Empress Mausi. So as we go through these episodes, so I thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Don't miss next week. Rendezvous the same time right here. You need to be here and share, bring somebody else, share the link, bring somebody else, invite somebody else. The more people we have, the fun this is going to be. So you need to invite more people so we can do this together so that they know everybody who is going to be, elected, or the candidate. They'll be able to know. And I want you to join me tomorrow at Agriculture on Ceana TV right here, as well as Chatting with Nicole. It is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. GMT for those of you who are in Ghana, Togo, and even those of you who join from other countries today. I want you to join us today. All right. You want you to join us tomorrow. Make sure that you're on the line with us. But I thank you again for joining us. Make sure even those who are not here, you already been here, share the link because this link is still there. They can still watch it, right? So still share the link and please subscribe to Ceana TV if you have not. And, make sure that you like and also let us know your questions and your comments. But until then, thank you for Steve. Thank you for Kobla. Thank you all of you for joining. We'll see you guys next Saturday. And I'll see you guys on Agriculture tomorrow. Don't miss it. Bye.
I really love to stay with you. I really have to go back home.
Whoa, the beat scientist.
Me suave, tu me suave, tu me suave,